afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the premiere edition of Live at 4.
Hello, everybody. It's our very first show.
It's pretty exciting.
It is very exciting.
We're going to be here for an hour between 4 and 5, and we're going to have all the elements. Boy, time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
5 years ago today. Can you believe it's been 5 years, Mark?
No, I can't.
And now look where we are. We're in different studios and...
socially distanced.
Right.
But we roll along.
Yeah,
it's been a fun 5 years, that's for sure. Here's what's making news on this Monday. A new poll from the University of Wisconsin says Joe Biden has a strong lead over President Trump with just 8 days until Election Day.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway is joining the mayors of other Wisconsin cities to discuss next week's election and the pandemic, how they're working together to make sure that Election Day is safe and secure.
And the U.S. Senate is expected to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to fill Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat in the U.S. Supreme Court this evening. Let's take a look outside. Kind of a shocking weekend with the snow falling and kind of chilly outside.
I wonder what the weather was. The weather words were 5 years ago today on our first show.
Probably not this.
No.
Sunshine returns, chill stays. Our chill, Dana Fulton's in the backyard.
Just
it's supposed to be, what, 20 degrees warmer than this?
It should be, yes. We should be in the mid-50s, so I shouldn't have to have my winter jacket out just yet, but I'm a little chilly right now. Right now we do have, sorry, there was a rabbit running around. It was a little chilly also. A cloudy sky for us this morning, but it's starting to clear out and get a bit of sunshine. As we look at this visible cloud track, you can see off to the west that white is all snow on the ground, not cloud coverage passing through. We have had just a little bit over the weekend, but that's really melting away for us this evening. All of that moisture now well to the south, going through showers and thunderstorms for southern Missouri and Illinois. The clouds clearing out. We'll have a clearing sky overnight, but we're still in the middle 30s, and we're looking at another day tomorrow in the middle to upper 30s for afternoon highs. So the cooler weather sticks around for just a little longer before we're back closer to average. But we'll take a closer look at your 10-day and your Halloween forecast in just a little bit. Right now, we're not seeing any major delays along the highways. The interstate looks good through Rock County, down below the state line. From Janesville to the Beltline, we're at 26 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown, about 9 minutes on this brisk evening.
All right, we'll check back in a few minutes, Dana. Thank you. Joe Biden has a nice cushion on President Trump in Wisconsin if you trust the latest UW-Madison poll. The university's Election Research Center shows Biden up 9 points over the president.
It's a larger lead than the same poll showed for Hillary Clinton 4 years ago at this same point in the race. News 3 Now's Naomi Coles joins us with more. Naomi?
Susan, the poll found similar leads in 3 crucial battleground states, including Michigan and Pennsylvania. In Wisconsin, polling shows a massive lead for Biden with people who have already voted. 73% of them support the former vice president. But Trump does take the lead in those who say they have not voted yet at 57%. People who run the poll say Trump's lead in the poll mathematically isn't enough to overcome Biden's support among early voters. On a broader scale, the poll shows a widening support for Biden in a couple crucial areas.
What we know from the 2020 survey is that a fairly substantial portion of people who voted third party or didn't vote at all in 2016 are breaking to Joe Biden.
Professor Mike Wagner is quick to emphasize these aren't election results, it's just a survey. It still matters who shows up to vote and how many mailed-in ballots might get rejected for mistakes. 800 people were surveyed for this poll. I'll explain at 6 why Professor Wagner believes the poll results are still accurate even if Trump voters are being undersampled or skewing their answers to surveys.
Naomi, we'll see you then. Thank you. With just over a week to go, President Trump is trying to make up some ground here in Wisconsin. The president and vice president are both planning stops in the state this week. President Trump will be outside of La Crosse at the La Crosse Speedway in West Salem tomorrow. Vice President Pence will make a stop at the Mosinee Airport on Wednesday. Second Lady Karen Pence will also be stopping in Wisconsin. She'll be holding a rally in Waterloo on Wednesday. More details are on our website, channel3000.com.
Democratic nominee Joe Biden is also coming to Wisconsin. It's unclear where in the state he will be. This is one of only a few stops that he's made in our state during the campaign season. Today, both presidential candidates are crossing the battleground state of Pennsylvania. At a rally in Allentown, more masks were visible in the crowds, but still little to no social distancing was enforced. Earlier, the president broke with his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, who said yesterday the administration is, quote, not going to control the pandemic. Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris sharply criticized the president's handling of the virus.
No, not at all. In fact, the opposite. Absolutely the opposite. We've done an incredible job.
We have witnessed the greatest failure of any presidential administration in the history of our country. On this issue, over 225,000 Americans have died.
The White House is experiencing another COVID outbreak, this time in the vice president's office. Several staffers, including Chief of Staff Mark Short, tested positive in recent days. A spokesperson for the vice president's office says he and his wife Karen tested negative today. The mayors from 5 Wisconsin cities met today virtually to talk about the upcoming election and public safety.
Charlotte DeLeste joins us with details from the meeting. Charlotte?
Well, Mark and Susan, with just over a week left until the election, each mayor shared the efforts each city has been taking to accomplish 2 major goals: make the community safe to vote and make sure everyone who can vote does. What each of the 5 mayors has accomplished so far is impressive. We're talking drop boxes, drive-through voting, plexiglass, hand sanitizing stations, and in Milwaukee's case, they purchased a high-speed tabulator to help count those early ballots at 7 a.m. on November 3rd. But Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway proudly shared this piece of information.
We have had almost 6,000 people in our community signed up to serve as poll workers, and 2,000 of them are volunteering their time, which is amazing. Our poll workers have been fantastic and absolutely critical.
And come Election Day, those poll workers will be busy as Madison plans to have 88 in-person polling places up and running all across our community. There was a very light moment that happened during this meeting that has to do with citizens who have or still plan to vote early. And I'll share that with you later on News 3 Now at 5.
We'll see you then, Charlotte. Thank you. Just 36 days after Wisconsin hit 100,000 cases, the state has hit 200,000 cases of COVID-19. It took the state several months to get to 100,000. 3,200 more people in Wisconsin have tested positive within the last day or so. The number of new cases is typically lower on Mondays due to less testing on the weekends. More than 1,800 people have died since the beginning of the outbreak. 10 of those deaths were reported today. Wisconsin is one of the states where new cases are rising the fastest. Public health experts say we're seeing a dangerous acceleration of new coronavirus cases. More than 83,000 new cases were reported nationwide Friday. That's a new record. No states are seeing declines in new cases, and in the last 2 weeks, half of all U.S. states have set single-day records for new cases.
It's happening, I think, because people are getting tired of all the restrictions.
In Michigan, health officials say COVID-19 hospitalizations have surged by more than 80%, and additional tents have been set up at University Medical Center in El Paso, Texas, after local hospitals and ICUs reached capacity. County officials issued a stay-at-home order and a nightly curfew. The governor of New Jersey says cases in the state are at levels not seen since May.
Emergency rooms are seeing fewer patients coming in for non-COVID related issues right now. Local doctors are also noticing that more people are putting off pain to avoid going to the hospital, and often they say that is making their condition worse. Amanda Quintana has more on the effect that that's having.
It's another trend we're seeing as a result of the pandemic. Something doesn't feel right, but you don't think it's worth going to the ER. Well, now doctors are seeing more patients come into the ER with their appendix already burst than they're used to. ER doctor Kyle Martin says it used to be a pretty rare experience to have someone come in after their appendix has already burst. Now it's happening pretty regularly, but it's not just appendicitis. He's seen more people ignoring pains that are signs of a stroke or a heart attack too.
Our public was really trying to keep the emergency departments open and free in order to take care of COVID patients. And we certainly do have COVID patients, but I think that they were really kind of, almost to their own injury.
He wants people to know that the ER is safe, and if you're experiencing pain, it's important for you to come in and have doctors check it out. Catching appendicitis, signs of stroke, and heart attack early can really prevent more complicated, serious surgeries. At 6, we'll hear from a woman who came to the ER here at St. Mary's a full week after her appendix had burst. How waiting that long is making her healing process more difficult.
Amanda, thank you. We'll see you at 6. Europe is imposing new COVID restrictions as a second wave accelerates. With shouts of freedom, hundreds of Italians defied an 11 p.m. curfew in Naples. They're angry over recent restrictions, the harshest in Europe since last spring's lockdown, as the government hopes they will crush this latest wave of coronavirus cases. President Emmanuel Macron in France is warning that the virus could be around until next summer. 2 months ago, Russia declared victory over the coronavirus, promoting a government vaccine, but that seems premature now as Russia is seeing record high cases.
In just a few hours, the GOP-controlled Senate is scheduled to take a final vote confirming Amy Coney Barrett to the U.S. Supreme Court. The move will fill the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's seat and create a 6-3 conservative majority on the High Court. Deborah Alfarone reports from Capitol Hill.
We want Judge Barrett on the Supreme Court to decide law.
Senate Republicans inch closer to confirming Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court.
Judge Barrett will approach each case without prejudices or preconceived notions.
Despite objections from Democrats.
We should not be voting on this lifetime appointment while the American people themselves are in the middle of voting.
President Trump tapped Barrett to replace the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg following her death just 38 days ago.
So help you God.
New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand was among Democrats who pulled an all-nighter to protest the final vote, warning the future of the Affordable Care Act is on the line.
Repealing the law in the midst of a global pandemic would result in even more chaos and devastation.
Vice President Mike Pence was set to preside over the Senate for the final vote, but Democrats urged him to reconsider given the latest coronavirus outbreak at the White House. Now Pence is expected to remain on the campaign trail, and Barrett's confirmation all but certain with Republicans holding the Senate majority.
I will be a yes. I have no doubt about her intellect.
The 48-year-old is expected to be seated in time to hear some key cases, including one involving LGBTQ rights on November 4th and another challenging the Affordable Care Act on November 10th. She'll also be on the bench to preside over any cases that might arise from the presidential election. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Barrett is President Trump's third selection to the Supreme Court. The president is expected to swear her in during an event at the White House following her confirmation. Well, still to come at 4, UW students roll up their sleeves to help others.
We'll tell you about a blood plasma drive taking place this week when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
If you elect me, your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
What does that mean for you? Household incomes down $6,500 a year. Higher gas prices at the pump and utility bills at home.
And here's how it works. I'm going to raise taxes.
Small businesses pay more. 5 million jobs lost.
You're going to get a tax raise.
An economy in ruins. That's what Joe Biden's tax increase means for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
We aren't radical, so why would we want one representing us in Madison? Chris Marion is an extreme partisan liberal who's just fine with calling political opponents Nazis, dictators, and enemies. And Chris Marion wants to take more of your paycheck, too. Marion supports eliminating levy limits, causing property taxes to skyrocket, crushing families as they try to recover. And Marion backs the radical Green New Deal that will cost trillions, destroy jobs, and increase taxes. Chris Marion, just too radical.
We are the Thrivers. Women with metastatic breast cancer, standing in the struggle, hustling through the hurt, asking for science, not sorries. Our time for more time has come. Living longer is possible and proven in women taking Kisqali plus fulvestrant or a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor. Kisqali is the only treatment in its class with proven overall survival results in 2 clinical trials, helping women live longer with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali was also significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus a non-steroidal aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Kisqali is not approved for use with tamoxifen. It's our time to continue to shine because we are the Thrivers. Ask your doctor about Kisqali, the only treatment in its class proven to help women live longer in 2 clinical trials.
Hello. Oh. I wish to inquire about your free phone deal. Is there anything hidden I should be aware of?
No, sir.
No hidden plan requirements?
You choose your plan.
No hidden phone trade-ins?
Keep your phone.
No hidden activation fees or other trickery where video recorded evidence would be beneficial?
None.
Interesting.
Lovely scarf.
What camera?
Get the latest phones free with no hidden requirements. U.S. Cellular. Upgrade to Fair.
Welcome back, everyone. For people who work on Election Day, waiting all day in line to vote isn't always an option.
But more and more businesses are taking the bold step of giving employees paid time off to cast their ballots. Coralie Kenna is a spokesperson for clothing company Patagonia. It's one of a growing number of businesses making it easier for employees to vote on Election Day. They'll shut down their stores, their headquarters, and their distribution centers. Workers will get a paid day off so they can vote, and 4 more days if they volunteer as a poll worker.
As we face a climate crisis, a social justice crisis, a health crisis, and an economic crisis, I think it is more important than ever before that we engage and that we exercise our right to vote.
Other companies like GM and Square have their own initiatives, but it's not just large businesses. A survey by Square found about 2/3 of small businesses say they plan to give workers time off to vote this year. Square's survey found 1/4 of businesses are open to making Election Day a company-wide holiday to encourage more employees to vote. Wall Street had its worst session in nearly 2 months as virus cases surge. The Dow Industrials dropped 650 points, closing at 27,685. The Nasdaq fell 189, and the S&P 500 was off 64. Well, tomorrow UW students will have a chance to help the fight against COVID-19.
They're being encouraged to give their blood and plasma, especially if they've recently recovered from COVID-19.
Dr. William Hartman runs the COVID-19 convalescent plasma program at UW Health, and he leads the AstraZeneca vaccine trial, which recently started up again. Doctor, good to see you again.
Hi, Dr. Hartman, good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
So why is this blood drive so important?
The blood drive is important for 2 reasons. Number one, there's a national shortage of blood right now, so this helps fill a critical need. The other is we can always use more convalescent plasma. As the cases grow here in Wisconsin and across the Midwest, convalescent plasma has been a therapy historically proven to be helpful. We need the plasma of recovered individuals, and I give great kudos to these students for stepping up to the plate.
On the UW-Madison campus, there have been about 3,000 students that have had confirmed positive COVID-19 cases. So there is a lot of good that can be done to fight the pandemic now. Can you explain to us how plasma helps? How does it do that?
So plasma, it's the liquid part of blood that contains the antibodies. And because these students have already defeated the virus, they've got antibodies against COVID-19. And so by donating their plasma, they're allowing those antibodies to be given to somebody else who's currently sick with COVID-19, sick in the hospital. And so this is an amazing way that the students are giving back to the community, and just one more way that the community is saving the community.
Giving plasma is the same process as giving blood, correct?
In this case, it will be. Typically, to give plasma, you have to go into a brick and mortar institution that's got the plasmapheresis machines. This is going to be just like a blood drive, and they will test that blood to see if there's antibody. If there is, they're able to extract the plasma from the blood and then use both components in the hospitals.
Does it take as long as traditionally giving a pint of blood?
No, it shouldn't take quite as long as donating plasma, but you know, it takes a little bit just to donate the blood, but there's always Oreo cookies afterwards. So that's
for students, that's a huge incentive.
That is a huge incentive. Let's talk about the AstraZeneca trial, which recently started up again. What's the status with that?
So we received word late Friday that the FDA and the independent safety board that looks at all the data had agreed that it is safe to continue with the vaccine trial. And so we've essentially been given the green light to go ahead and begin to enroll again in the vaccine trial so that we can see whether or not this AstraZeneca vaccine is part of the solution.
What are the next steps?
The next steps, there's some paperwork and logistics that are involved to get consents through the IRB process, things like that. And then we also have to go through and reschedule people that have been canceled over the last several weeks so that they can come back and participate now in the trial. And we have to do the follow-up on the first 37 people that received the first shot of the vaccine. They haven't been able to get their second shot. And so we have to bring them back and get them back in the process.
So 37 people got the vaccine before it was called off.
The 37 people were part of the trial. I don't know if they got the vaccine or the placebo. Only the company will know that. But there was 37 people that were involved with the trial before the pause.
And how many more people are you hoping to enroll?
Somewhere between 800 and 1,000. It's a little bit less than what we had anticipated initially. It's a competitive process now, though, so we will keep going along with the 79 other sites across the country to push to the 30,000 number, which they need to do an effective evaluation of the data.
And this is one of the biggest sites, right? UW?
Yes, we're one of the bigger sites here.
All right, another way you can help out in this fight. Doctor, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hartman. We appreciate your time.
The Badgers Give Back Blood Drive starts tomorrow, runs through Thursday at the brand new recreational facility on campus, the Nick on Dayton Street. The blood drive runs from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. Still to come at 4, it's no secret the pandemic is hitting small businesses hard.
And it's hitting small Black-owned businesses especially hard. We'll have that story coming up after Dana's Firstborn Forecast.
Early voting is open in Wisconsin. You can same-day register and vote at an early voting site near you. Bring your photo ID when you go. The Democratic National Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Here at Harker Heating and Cooling of Madison, we are proudly celebrating over 70 years of excellence. A lot can change in 70 years, but some things never do, like our commitment to providing our customers with 100% satisfaction every single day. When you make that call to Harker, you can be rest assured that a team of qualified, trustworthy, skilled individuals are ready to address your home service concerns. Harker Heating and Cooling, your hometown heroes for over 70 years.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
I can't do another 4 years of this. I can't. There's never been more divisiveness in this country. It's frightening and sad. That was Trump's whole thing. You know, take the politics out of it and run it like one of his businesses. I know people were looking for that kind of change, but it's not working. You know, we've only gotten more in debt. We have this virus now out of control, people out of work, no health care. How is that helping people? We need someone that knows what they're doing, and I think it's Biden. I know he will listen to the experts. That's what we need. I trust him 100% to get this under control. He has the capability to bring us back together.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Why Cedar? Because when I get home, we like to play crocodile on the floor.
Promis Max's pad removes over 99% of bacteria with just water. Better cleaning with less waste. O-Cedar, it feels great to feel at home.
Do you have dry, cracked hands from constant washing, cold weather, and hard work? Try O'Keefe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keefe's for healthy feet. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked feet.
The Social Security Administration just released a report saying that if a plan like the one Trump is proposing goes into effect, the Social Security Trust Fund would be, and I quote, permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. Put it plainly, Trump's plan would wipe out Social Security. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Early voting is open in Wisconsin. You can same-day register and vote at an early voting site near you. Bring your photo ID when you go. The Democratic National Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Well, take a look at this. Gunter Schackemeyer and his crew are trying to roll into history. They're attempting to be the first team in the world to change the front tire of a Vespa while driving. And it's looking pretty good. Both Schackemeyer and his team member you see driving ahead have to travel at the exact same speed and hold steady while the mechanic does his job. Looks like they've done it. Now it's up to the Guinness World Records to say it's official. I don't know if you could get off and run with it.
That's pretty impressive.
It is impressive. Well, it's time for Potentially Yours here on Live at 4.
Let's help Yardstick find a forever home, shall we? Oh, what a sweet kitty.
Oh, look at that face.
She's a medium-sized adult tortoiseshell cat. Beautiful eyes.
Really it is.
And a lot of love to share, they tell us.
She's part of the Humane Society's Lonely Hearts Club. That means she's been there a while. So if you're interested, you can call the Humane Society Adoption Center at 608-838-0413.
Oh, especially the Lonely Hearts Club's animals. We really want to get them homes. The Dane County Humane Society, the ASPCA, and Don Miller Subaru West are working together this week to find homes for all of their animals. Different adoptable animals will be highlighted all week long on Don Miller's Facebook page, and they'll also chip in $25 in pet supplies for every adoption.
That's a good deal.
Very much so.
If you're interested in adopting Yardstick or checking out all the other animals at the Dane County Humane Society, go to giveshelter.org or set up an appointment at 838-0413. Time now, Dana.
Yes.
You have a Subaru.
I do, and a dog, and a cat, and everyone. Well, Subaru National just did a big drive over the weekend about getting people to donate dogs. So it makes sense that Don Miller's also jumping in on that.
Yeah, Subaru's real big with dogs.
They
all the commercials. They have dogs driving their cars in the commercials.
That's right. Yeah.
When we bought ours, and this isn't a plug, this is honest. They gave us a Chubaru dog toy for a penny. It's clever. Yeah. I was sold then. I was done. Anyway, Subaru, great because it's winter weather here soon. At least with that light snow that we had yesterday. We're expecting a little more sunshine, though, for the next few days. We'll keep the snow out of the forecast for Halloween this year, but it is going to be chilly outside. Your full 10-day right after the break.
You were always the responsible one. So much like me. Always taking care of everyone else. But this wasn't your responsibility. I already took care of the arrangements. The Ryans made it so easy. I didn't want you to worry about a thing. It's my last gift to you, my lovely daughter.
Election season is here. Remember, who you vote for is secret, but whether you vote is public information. Your friends, family, and neighbors can look up your voting record. This year, whether by mail, early, or on November 3rd, be sure to make a plan to vote. And after the election, your voting record will be updated based on your participation on November 3rd. So vote on or by November 3rd.
The Medicare enrollment deadline is only weeks away, and there's so many unanswered questions. Like, do you know if your plan is still the right fit? Having the wrong Medicare plan can cost you thousands, and that's why I love Health Markets, your insurance marketplace. What if you didn't have to shop for health insurance again? Health Markets FitScore Forever Promise is the answer. It continuously scans the market to compare your plan against any new options year after year, while helping answer all your Medicare questions, like does your plan have no copays, no deductibles, or $0 premiums? Health Markets has the answer. Does your plan offer dental and vision coverage? How about hearing aids, glasses, wellness visits, and even telemedicine at no additional cost? Health Markets has the answers. Find the answer from the #1 ranked health insurance agency in America.
Your insurance marketplace, Health Markets.
Call 800-964-0790. That's 800-964-0790. Call now.
Here's how my plan works. Anyone making less than $400,000 a year won't pay a penny more. I'm going to ask the very big corporations to pay their fair share. We're going to invest in creating millions of good-paying jobs. We're going to ease the burden of the major costs in your life. Healthcare. We're going to protect Social Security, increase the benefits for millions of seniors. When I announced I was running, I said that's the reason, to rebuild the backbone of this country. Hard-working folks in the middle class.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Well, we did have a chilly start to the day with temperatures early this morning below freezing, close to 25 in the Dells and 28 in Madison. We are expecting another chilly night tonight with temperatures dropping into the 20s for our overnight lows. Right now, we have a little bit of sun coming through with our Queen Bee radio sky cam looking in Platteville. Still quite a bit of cloud coverage over some parts of our area. That's going to clear out, and over the next several days, we'll get a little more sunshine back. Temperatures, though, will continue to be below average. Very cool trend for the week. Sunshine expected for much of the work week, though. We won't have a lot of moisture coming in, and that's not just through the work week. It also continues into next weekend for Halloween. We'll stay mostly dry through Halloween weekend. Doppler track is quiet right now. We don't have any more light flurries building in. I know a lot of folks weren't particularly thrilled to see some light snow yesterday, a little bit early, but thankfully not a lot of that sticking. We didn't have to clean up too much, and we're going to hold off before we have anything measurable come down as we look ahead to the next few weeks. Overnight, our skies will become partly cloudy as we head into Tuesday morning. Temperatures will be in the 20s yet again for overnight lows. So a chilly start to the day for Tuesday, but in the afternoon we'll have the sunshine back. High temperatures in the upper 30s, but notice our breeze shifting direction a little bit, coming from more the southwest. So that's going to help our temperatures rise a little more for Wednesday and into Thursday and Friday. Wednesday morning we're back to the 20s, but in the afternoon we'll see high temperatures near 50 degrees. We'll climb up a little more. Overall, 8 to 14 days out, as we look at the bigger picture here, very likely that we will be trending below average with our precipitation. Now, while we're chilly and dry, our tropical situation still quite active. We're keeping an eye on Hurricane Zeta right now off the Yucatan Peninsula. That's going to stay a Category 1 hurricane, and a path that we have watched several tropical storms move through over the last several months. This Category 1 hurricane will get into that warm Gulf water, stay strong and make landfall as we look ahead to likely late in the day Wednesday or early Thursday along the Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama coastlines, an area that's already dealt with several systems passing through. So an active season for us, and we aren't quite clear just yet, even as we look to the beginning of November. Tomorrow, high temperatures will be in the upper 30s. Skies becoming mostly sunny, still chilly outside, even with that sunshine coming through. We'll stay in the upper 30s for just one more day before temperatures climb up a little more. We're closer to 50 degrees on Wednesday. Back to the 40s on Thursday and Friday. And for Thursday, that's our really only opportunity to see some light rain. An isolated shower possible for Thursday, mainly south of Madison, though. So don't expect much of a drink for the ground with that one. For Saturday, Halloween, we are expecting partly sunny skies with high temperatures in the low 50s, a chilly day. And if your Halloween evening plans take you outside at all, know that after we get through sunset, temperatures will be in the 40s, so you'll definitely want to layer up. But after that, we're dry into the start of November with temps staying fairly close to average. We'll be bouncing around right around 50 degrees through Election Day on Tuesday.
Well, that's good news for Election Day.
That is very good news.
We don't like to mix it. It's already going to be a very busy day, and if weather could stay quiet, that would be nice.
That would be nice. All right, Dina, thank you.
Thanks, Dina.
A new international study shows the impact the coronavirus can have on the heart.
A large international study led by the School of Medicine at Mount Sinai is helping doctors better understand COVID-19's impact on the heart. Researchers looked at the heart ultrasounds of more than 300 hospitalized COVID-19 patients. They found 2/3 of them had heart abnormalities, and those patients had a higher risk of death.
You tend to think it's more
an inflammatory response against the virus, which is affecting the heart, rather the direct attack of the virus into the heart.
Doctors say these heart injuries can be associated with heart attack, pulmonary embolism, and heart failure. Study author Dr. Martin Goldman says the ultrasounds may be an important tool to identify high-risk patients who may benefit from more aggressive and tailored treatment. Well, a recent U.S. Chamber of Commerce poll shows the impact the coronavirus is having on minority-owned businesses. They're being hit disproportionately hard.
Many are finding it difficult to secure loans to help their stores survive. And now the economic impact is guiding some black and brown voters as they head to the polls. Skylar Henry reports from Ohio with the pressure minority business owners are facing.
For many, the ripple effects of this year have been burdensome. Just ask Kevin Johnson.
I'm a small business owner.
The Cleveland-based entrepreneur runs a medical assistant small business that helps seniors, the group initially most feared to be impacted by the coronavirus.
We had to go straight through because our customers need us, and regardless of what's going on, they've got to have that help.
Johnson also sits on several small business boards in the area and watched helplessly as his peers were forced to shut their doors, in some cases for good. Many of the owners unable to secure a financial boost from the government were black.
Are they kind of saying, hey, listen, we may need to find an alternative route in order for us to stay afloat?
I would say that for a lot of minority companies, the ship is already sailed.
Nearly 66% of minority-owned businesses nationwide are concerned about the future of their shops, compared to the 57% of non-minority-owned small businesses. A closer gap than 5 months ago, but still wide enough to leave entrepreneurs uneasy.
I've done more for the black community than any president since Abraham Lincoln.
I'm going to expand black home ownership and affordable housing, investing in black communities and business.
Case Western Reserve University professor Aisha Bell Hardaway says while candidates at times marginalize black voters, the impact of this year, from the economy to the pandemic to the calls for racial justice, make this election especially significant.
Everyone's using the word equity. It's a buzzword at this point, right? It's a thing that you say in order to make it clear that you recognize all of the injustices that exist for marginalized communities and people in this country.
A multi-layered issue for Johnson.
The time when we're able to rally around a purpose that says that the great words, we the people, are inclusive and not exclusive.
And with days to go before the election, it's a heavy topic for many voters, but one they say needs to be addressed. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Cleveland, Ohio.
According to a recent CBS News poll, 90% of black voters across the country say they would vote for Joe Biden.
That is better than Hillary Clinton's numbers from 4 years ago. Both campaigns are focused on minority votes, especially in crucial battleground states. And we'll be right back.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
He's erratic.
I have 5 different strategies I could change any moment.
Refuses to lead.
I don't take responsibility at all.
Or rely on experts.
One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
Enough.
As president, I'll make you a promise. I'll protect America. I will defend us from every attack, seen and unseen, always, without exception, every time.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Here's to the doers. To all the people who realize they can do more with less asthma. Thanks to Dupixent, the add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma. Dupixent isn't for sudden breathing problems. It can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks and help prevent severe asthma attacks. It's not a steroid, but can help reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Dupixent can cause serious allergic reactions, including anaphylaxis. Get help right away if you have rash, shortness of breath, chest pain, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection. And don't change or stop your asthma treatments, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Are you ready to do more with less asthma? Talk to your asthma specialist about Dupixent. If your financial situation has changed, we may be able to help.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
This election is about building this country back better. And that's what Joe and I will do. We'll create millions of jobs, bring back critical supply chains so the future is made in America. Build on the Affordable Care Act. Offer caregivers the dignity, the respect, and the pay they deserve. We have a chance to choose a better future for our country.
Hey, Madison voters, don't let the pandemic suppress your vote. Create your safe voting plan now. You have options. Visit cityofmadison.com/clerk to create your safe voting plan today. Brought to you by the Madison City Clerk's Office.
Tonight at 5, outdoor dining has been popular due to COVID-19. We'll show you how restaurants are adjusting as the weather starts to cool off. That's at 5.
Temperatures will generally stay below normal for the rest of this week through the weekend. Outside of a slight chance for a shower Thursday, will stay dry. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, with just over a week until Election Day, a Madison teenager is encouraging other young people to make a safe voting plan. We'll share her story with you tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Is that a beautiful shot?
Really is.
Isn't that? It almost looks a little heavenly out there this afternoon. It's a Monday afternoon, a little cool, but nothing major to report. Nice to see the sunshine today. And actually, that shot is a perfect lead into our next story as we note the passing today of a veteran Madison journalist and a member of the News 3 Now family.
Photographer Doug Wall lost his battle with cancer. This is one of the cameras he used over the years. He was a member of our news staff for 39 years and had a remarkable career doing what he loved best. Doug started working at WISC TV in 1979, and during those many years, captured moments of our collective past. From countless court cases to spot news stories to events that made history. He was one of the first photojournalists in Barneveld when it was hit by a devastating tornado. He was a member of our crew that traveled to Pasadena for the 1994 Rose Bowl on the inaugural trip of our satellite truck.
Live at 5 on location.
We're on location here at the NFL Players Party at San Diego Harbor.
4 years later, on to San Diego for the Packers in Super Bowl 32. But it was the political games at the state capitol that always intrigued Doug most. He teamed up with our political reporters, bringing stories of the intricacies and drama of what was happening under the Capitol Dome, including the tumultuous weeks leading up to the passage of Act 10.
Chairman, this is a violation of law. This is not just a rule, it is the law. There must be. No, Mr. Chairman, this is a violation.
He also knew that for a news photographer, being in the right place at the right time meant everything in news coverage. Doug once said one of the highlights of his career happened on June 9th in 2008 in Lake Delton. The scenes he captured of houses collapsing as the lake drained into the Wisconsin River were seen on newscasts around the world. It was a storied career that ended with his retirement in the spring of 2018. The family that he built here at News 3 Now during those years extends its condolences to Doug's wife, Karen, his 2 children, Jessica and Stan, and his beloved grandkids. Doug Wall was just 67 years old.
With Herzing University's Everywhere Classroom, you can earn a degree in today's hottest fields online. For a limited time, we'll waive your enrollment fee. See what your career can turn into. I'm possible at Herzing. Call or click today.
Attention, fellow seniors. This election will determine your Medicare benefits. Under President Trump, Medicare premiums in Wisconsin have gone down 21%. But with the Biden-Harris healthcare plan, Medicare will change. Private insurance eliminated. Hospitals closed. You could even lose your doctor. Protect your Medicare coverage. Vote for President Trump. Learn more at seniorsbeware.com.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
I wanted my hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out about mine.
I knew for years. Epclusa has a 98% overall cure rate.
I had no symptoms of hepatitis C.
Mine caused liver damage.
Epclusa is only one pill, once a day, taken with or without food for 12 weeks. Before starting Epclusa, your doctor will test if you have had hepatitis B, which may flare up and could cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you have had hepatitis B, other liver or kidney problems, HIV or other medical conditions, and all medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Epclusa may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects include headache and tiredness. Ask your doctor today if Epclusa is your kind of cure.
Things can change in a heartbeat. I know. My wife and 3 children were Christmas shopping. Tractor trailer killed my wife and killed my daughter. I was probably the only senator ever sworn in a hospital because I didn't want to leave my sons.
For Joe Biden, health care access is personal. And in coronavirus's wake, we need Joe's plan. Double the number of testing sites, free vaccines, save and extend Obamacare. A real plan and the resilience to lead the way. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
The Social Security Administration just released a report saying that if a plan like the one Trump is proposing goes into effect, the Social Security Trust Fund would be, and I quote, permanently depleted by the middle of calendar year 2023. Put it plainly, Trump's plan would wipe out Social Security. If I'm your president, we're going to protect Social Security and Medicare. You have my word. I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
To the thousands of Herzing University nursing and healthcare alumni, for your tireless commitment, and to all of your brave colleagues across America, we say thank you.
I'm possible at Herzing.
No traffic delays to report right now. Throughout southern Wisconsin, we're seeing a lot of green on the roads. That's always good news. The Beltline looks smooth. The interstate all the way through Dane and Rock County, no hiccups. A few slowdown spots in downtown Janesville, but nothing out of the norm for this time of day. From Janesville to the Beltline, 25 minutes, 16 minutes from Sauk City to Middleton, and Sun Prairie to downtown, about 9 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
Dana, thank you. Finland's Santa Claus has sent a message of optimism and hope to children around the world, reassuring them that Christmas will not be canceled this year despite the pandemic that has caused so much hardship for families. Finland's Arctic Wonderland attracts thousands of children annually, and Santa's post office receives letters from across the globe. And the greatest wish from Finland's Santa is that everyone stays safe this year.
Oh, that's good to see and hear.
Christmas has not been canceled. Well, this weekend, the sequel to the movie Borat made headlines for putting some political figures in awkward situations.
That's just one of the new movies and TV shows to watch this weekend. Will Loper tells us more in this week's Loper Report.
Hey, Mark and Susan. This weekend we saw all kinds of new high-profile releases, from new witches to a Borat sequel. But first up, Netflix brought us another adaptation of the gothic romance novel, Rebecca.
What did you do?
I'm a lady's companion.
Maxim de Winter. His wife died last year and is in dire need of company.
Lily James stars as a lower-class woman who gets swept up by the wealthy Maxim de Winter, played by Armie Hammer. She marries him and moves into his house and finds herself weighed down by the memories of his deceased first wife, Rebecca.
How am I supposed to know anything if you don't tell me?
She's still here. Can you feel her?
The film is gorgeous to look at, with beautiful shots of cliffs and lavish interiors. The film is enjoyable enough for those looking for a thriller, but this remake simply cannot hold a candle to Alfred Hitchcock's 1940 version. For the kids, Netflix added the film Over the Moon.
Oh, poor lady, that goddess. So lonely up there on the moon, dreaming of her one true love. What in the world?
And if you have little ones who are big Frozen fans, Disney Plus added a new short Olaf film, Once Upon a Snowman.
Welcome to Wandering Organs.
Hello, fuzzy man bear.
What do you need?
A sense of self. I kind of look like a Fernando. Or a Trevor.
Horror fans will find plenty to enjoy in Hulu's Bad Hair.
You ever had a dream? One you'd be willing to do anything for?
Who does your hair? No one? Me? Aren't you tired of it? All the stares you get?
A woman gets a new hair weave, which seems to have a life of its own, and, well, it's hungry.
In a perfect world, a woman would be able to wear her hair the way she wants to.
HBO Max added a new version of the Roald Dahl book, The Witches.
Witches. They're real. And they hate children.
A boy and his grandma, played by Octavia Spencer, must stop a group of witches from turning all children into mice.
Ladies, I have a plan. Gondro, they'll transform a child into a mouse.
Anne Hathaway stars as the leader of the witches in a performance that's about as hammy as it gets. The film is too scary for kids, but also far too cheesy for adults. You're safe in skipping The Witches. Finally, the world has been terrorized once more by Borat and his sequel on Amazon Prime, Borat's subsequent movie film.
I go to America!
Sacha Baron Cohen wreaks havoc on unsuspecting civilians in a movie that's more story-driven than the first, but no less outrageous and cringy as he puts himself in the most uncomfortable situations possible.
Where is everybody? They're wanting everybody to quarantine so they don't spread this virus. Could I stay in your home?
I hope quarantine never ends.
If you're a fan of the first Borat movie, you'll be more than happy with this sequel.
This is a bag that just goes over the dress.
They're nice.
I really like this.
Thankfully, all this social distancing means I don't have to hear everybody's non-stop Borat impressions again.
Very nice.
What? For Live at 4, I'm Will Loper. Send it back to you, Mark and Susan.
Okay. I get them. Please relax. I get them. Careful, he bites.
I watched that over the weekend.
What did you think?
It's exactly what you expect from Borat.
Okay.
Enter at your own risk. We'll be right back.
Pretty rough playback.
He's our independent voice who answers to no one but us, Todd Novak. Todd Novak is working across the aisle, passing the bipartisan COVID-19 relief bill, helping hospitals and communities get the resources needed to fight the coronavirus. Todd Novak is helping families, small businesses, and farmers as we work to rebuild the economy safely. And Todd Novak led the bipartisan effort to make sure our water is clean and safe for future generations. Our voice, Todd Novak for State Assembly.
Do you have dry, cracked hands from constant washing, cold weather, and hard work? Try O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked feet.
Democrats enabled riots across America, even in small towns.
So we just have officers that can only monitor. They can't do anything about it. But they're actually standing to get
out of here, okay?
Ma'am, are they actually sitting on or standing on your car?
On my car. And I got a little girl in the car crying. Are you kidding me? This is insane.
Let the police do their jobs. On November 3rd, vote Trump. Restoration PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you elect me, your taxes are going to be raised, not cut.
What does that mean for you? Household incomes down $6,500 a year. Higher gas prices at the pump and utility bills at home.
And here's how it works. I'm going to raise taxes.
Small businesses pay more. 5 million jobs lost.
You're going to get a tax raise.
An economy in ruins. That's what Joe Biden's tax increase means for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
This election season, News 3 Now has been your source with the facts about the 2020 vote. We've shown you how to request and track your ballot. We've put the race in perspective, discovering where the candidates need to deliver to win in Wisconsin. It all leads to Election Day, where you can expect more facts, more in-depth analysis, more reporters gathering new details, more experts answering your questions, all led by a team you can trust. The News 3 Now team is ready for an election like no other.
Here's a live look at downtown. Right now we still have a few clouds in the sky, a little bit of sun coming through, so likely going to have a really pretty sunset. It's just a little chilly outside. Those temperatures in the middle 30s with a calm breeze. We're at 32 right now in the Dells on North, about 36 in Janesville. Now we will stay chilly over the next several days. Our temperatures will not rise above average until we get closer to Halloween. Sunshine sticking around and overall mostly dry through the weekend.
All right, Dana, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, we'll talk about adolescent mental health during the pandemic.
And Consumer Report shows us how to replace your cable or satellite service for $25 a month. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.